What's going on, guys? It's Luck here, and today I'm making a My Hero Ultra Rumble character tier list, and this is straight from release, straight from launch. So if you watch this video later on, this probably won't be as accurate, but at the moment, this is first week, first couple days. So I'm just gonna get started very quickly, and I'm not gonna waste up too much of y'all's time. So Deku, Todoroki, and Bakugo. These three characters are the best in the game. All these characters essentially have the same thing. They have very long and very powerful projectiles, and they all have great movement. So not only can they deal a lot of damage, but if they get in a stucky situation, they could also leave. And also Deku could fucking revive. He could pick you up and revive you. Toto, he's just broken. Baguio, he has insane damage, and he could pierce through buildings and walls and stuff like that. Toto also beast. He's basically just like them, and he has great defense. And when he runs away, when Toto runs away, he literally could put you on ice as well. So while you're trying to chase him, you're probably gonna get frozen in the process because his move allows that. So these three characters are at the top, no debate. Next we have All Might. Not many people have been using them, also because the character's locked, but when people actually start using him, they'll see that he's actually good. He's around the same tier as these characters, but I just feel like he lacks in damage, specifically projectiles, because he has just as much movement. But later on, maybe once people start playing a lot more, they'll be like, hey, he might be as good as these three, but he's like just a tier under them. Kendo, I'm putting her in C. There's a lot of people who know how to use her well, don't get me wrong. She's good in certain situations. I would say places like Typhoon and Fire Zone, that's where she really excels, because there's a lot of like opening or small gaps and stuff like that, and her shield could block all the attacks, while like the other characters, say you have a Bakugo on your team, they can shoot projectiles while you're blocking to kind of get an advantage and also keeping your team safe. So I feel like she's really situational, but for the most part, if she's just by herself, you could take her one-on-one. So I'm putting her in C. Cementos, I'm putting him in B. I'm putting him a little bit above Kendo, because he could really hold his own in a one-on-one, and he's very good at reviving teammates. He could revive you on command. He could also rate a lot of defense, a lot of barriers, or even just get the high ground very easily. His kid just does that, so he could do what Kendo does to a certain extent, but also do a little bit more. That's why I have him above Kendo in B. Next we have Dabi. I'm putting him in B too. I know so far he hasn't really done too much. I feel like since people have been playing a lot more, I felt like he got nerfed a bit, but for some reason he doesn't feel as dangerous. His projectile is still pretty good, but outside of that, I wouldn't say his hits well. I mean, his Ring of Fire, that's also good. It stops all attack from the outside, and he can hit you with projectiles while he's in there. So that is good. Honestly, yeah, I'm putting him in A. I'm putting him in A. But all that is overall solid. I would say he's kind of towards A and B, between there, but I can't put him B with Cementos, Next we have Denki. Honestly, I believe Denki is C. Honestly, I feel like he's the worst character in the game, only because a lot of his moves, specifically like he has like a large shock charge thing where it covers a long range, but he's seriously standing still. So if someone like Bakugo saw that from afar, you're probably dying. Like, they're probably just hitting all your shots because you're just standing in one spot doing your move. So that's kind of bad. He does good damage though, and is really good situationally, especially places like Typhoon and Fire Zone, same as Kendo. Like any places with small spaces, that's where he excels, because he could set traps and all that stuff. So he's gonna be in C. Not Toga. Froppy, yeah, she's an A. She does solid damage. She could revive on command, camouflage, all that stuff. She just has so much movement too, so you get out a lot of situations. Maybe if you have a bad start, the Froppy could leave, come back, revive y'all, stuff like that. So I feel like Froppy is very good. Camouflage, revive on command, solid damage, and just insane movement. So I got her at A. Next we have Ida. Ida's kind of the same as Frobby. Around the same thing. He just has so much movement that he could get away in any situation. His damage is very good. The only thing that he lacks is projectiles. But I'm glad he doesn't have projectiles because he would be broken. But for the most part, if you're fighting an Ida close range, you might as well just call it quits because you're not going to catch him because he has too much movement and his damage is fucking insane. So he's going to be an A. Mr. Compressed, I'll put him in B as well. Actually, no. Because how the meta is going right now with a lot of ranged characters, I'm going to put him in A. I'm putting him above Dobby though. Because his projectiles are pretty good and cause hella damage and is great in Fire Zone and Typhoon, same as these two at the bottom. But his projectiles also have like a long range. Like if you upgrade to a certain level, he'll start throwing trucks, so you damn near have like guaranteed hits. And then also, since a lot of people are running projectiles like Deku, Toto, Bakugo, all those characters, he does have his shield that reflects it right back to him. So that's why I would say he's at A, because the meta is projectiles. If you have good projectiles, you're a good character. So I'm putting Mr. Compressed in A. Next we have Mount Lady. I personally use her. I love her. She's my main. I'm putting her at the top of A. You know, she's very good in a one-on-one scenario. She could damn near win her ones, plus she could turn big and could possibly solo squad just because a team may be uncoordinated or you're just broken, or your team is just also functioning so well that when you're gigantified, they can't really do nothing to you because they're focused on your teammates or your teammates putting pressure on them. So she's very good with putting pressure on the team. Her projectiles are solid. Her kicks, her strike attacks are great. Only reason why I kind of got her not in S is because she's seamlessly weak in Fire Zone and Typhoon Zone. Those places like that, when she gigantifies, she can't really do much because it's not a lot of open space. There's a lot of corners you have to cut to hit someone, and they can seamlessly escape pretty well. Even though, like, it's good to gigantify, but in those zones, it's not really that well because you're gonna be turning around corners, kind of wasting your time in that form, or they're just gonna focus on you because you're the only big target. So that's why she's in there. Next we have Ochaku. Ochaku's not bad though. You know, I really like her. I'm put her at B. Her projectiles, they don't have a lot of ammo. I think it's like 3, I think 5 when it's at max. Has good movement. Her striking, the one thing where she just throwing around the fucking, I don't know what it's called, but that shit's a good move. Everything about her is solid, but it's nothing that you would be like, oh my god, we need her on our team. Nothing like that. That's why I say she's B. A certain person could use her and they would be the best player you've seen, but for the most part, they're gonna be solid. So that's why I got her at B. Next, I have Shiggy. Shiggy still has insane damage. I'm putting him as A as well. I put him above Mr. Compressed. That's because his damage is insane. He's a late game god. If you fight him late game in small circles, any sort of small places, like you're fucked for the most part. He has such great damage. All of his short range attacks stagger. They'll attack your health and shield. He does have a bit of a projectile. It's not projectile, but like a long range attack that does solid too. So basically, in any small spaces, he's a god. If you're kind of in the open spaces, not too well, you gotta be more careful with him because, you know, he's a close range fighter, and you have people like Deku, Bakugo, Toto. All those characters will fuck him up so easily. So you gotta be careful when using him. But for the most part, he's great. So he's gonna be an A. Next we have Toga. She's one of those characters. I'm putting her in B. You know, she could do any of these characters, because she could copy people's abilities. But her own kit's not that great. Her projectiles are good. Everything else is kind of iffy. It's like, is this really good? I know her strike attack, you gotta hit an attack, and then you get like a barrage where you could deal damage to other teammates. But outside of that, it's like she's solid, you know. Like, she could copy people's abilities. You may not even fight someone that good. Like, say if I copy to a Kendo, I wouldn't want to copy to that. You gotta copy to someone like Deku or Bago, any of those characters. But overall, she's solid. I'm not scared when I find a toga. I feel like I can handle her every fucking time. So that's why I have her a B. Next, we have Kirishima. His strike damage is good. He's good. He's great close range, actually. I feel like he's kind of like Shigaraki, but without like the stagger effect. So that's why I have him in a tier below. He does great damage. You just have to be close. And the meta is projectiles. That's why I have him in B. It's really situational. You really have to cut the range with him so fast, and you got to get close and personal. And when he's close, he could probably ruin your fucking life. Like, he's that good. So that's why I have him in B. Next, we have Momo. Momo's an A. I really like Momo. You know, her projectiles are solid. Has like this huge shield thing, and I think she's vulnerable while using it. I think she's vulnerable while using it. So she puts the shield, sets the shield down, could do good damage if you're close to her. Like, if she's doing that shit, just run away. Please don't try and fuck with her while she's in that move. Is good. Her cannon is low-key the part that's really like making her not so good. Her cannon is very inaccurate, not that strong, but for the most part, like, her shield and her projectiles are pretty solid. And honestly, she's a healer. She can revive pretty quickly, so that's why I like her in A. If her cannon becomes more accurate or does more damage, she might be the best in the game, no doubt. But for the moment, she's at A. And then we have the Bond girl. I forgot her name. I think her name's like, I don't fucking know. But I'm putting her in A as well. There's a lot of characters in A. Thing is, her range attack, especially at a higher level, it could damn near snipe people from anywhere. So she's basically a far range god. She does have two other attacks. One's a close range, kind of does damage, close range attack kind of does damage to all others, not just the person in front of you. Then she has a grab. You gotta get like very close to actually use that. But the grab is also great, but could also be ass, because you're gonna grab someone and you're gonna do damage to them, and your teammates could combo off of that while you're grabbing them. They could probably shoot their projectiles or anything else to stack damage onto that. But also, you're standing still, so the enemy team might fuck you up as well. So it really matters. I feel like team coordination really matters with her a lot. And plus, you could revive on command as well. So she's really solid. She could really change a game if you really know how to use her. Probably start off a fight, and you could take out a character damn near immediately with her grab. Her range attack's fucking crazy. All that shit's crazy. She only lacks in movement, and if she had movement, it would be game over. But I'm glad she does it. So that's the end of the tier list. I said I was gonna make it short and sweet, but it wasn't as short. It's 13 minutes long, so I apologize. But that's the end of the video. Make sure y'all leave a like, comment, subscribe, or leave any sort of feedback. If you have a problem with where I put a character at, you tell me what you think about it, or why you think this character should be higher or lower. But anyways, that's it for the video, and y'all have a good day. Thank y'all.